G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here and watching my content. I do appreciate it. And as always, it is my pleasure and privilege to entertain you as we talk about the greatest sport in the world, rugby. And this weekend, Super Rugby Round 11, the Fijian Drua hosting the Hurricanes in Suva at home. What a performance! What a performance! What a huge improvement from last week's performance in the Drua. Going into this game, the Hurricanes is stacked with All Blacks players. And last week, considering how big the gap was between the Drua and the Blues, I thought the Hurricanes could just walk out of this one another easy kind of win for the Drua. I was hoping maybe if they had a smaller margin than they were last week to the Blues, I would have considered that a big improvement, right? But not only that, they closed out the margin. They came out with a win. They went home, clearly did their homework, look at the key areas that they were lacking last week and did a lot of work off the field and came into this game with a strategy, with a game plan, and with tremendous improvements in key areas to actually seize this game and beat the Hurricanes 27-24. Okay, so there were a few areas like we talked about last week that really hurt the Drua. First thing is the scrummaging. The scrummaging, like the blue scrum, Ofa Tuangafasi was just absolutely destroying the Drua last week. Penalty almost every scrum. Yeah, really allowing the Blues to just easily get themselves in the position to score tries for 3 points. But this week, the Drua, not only that, they improved their scrum from last week, they actually managed to win you could say that, a match-winning scrum penalty against basically the best scrum in New Zealand at the moment. Okay, in case you're not really in the loop for New Zealand rugby, Tyrell Lomax is actually the starting tight head for the All Blacks, and last week his performance in the second half of the in the later half of the All Black season, he was probably the best tight head prop in the world. His scrummaging was not only just like dominant, he was dominating world-class tier 1 teams, right? And the Drua was able to hold out the scrummaging. This was this scrum was not a easier scrum than the blue scrum. This was in many arguments better than the blue scrums, especially in the forward position, in the tight head position, and on the bench as well. Owen Franks, multiple World Cup winner, one of the best props in the world once upon a time. Again, he was one that gave away a penalty in the scrum time. So yeah, to come out and get a penalty against world-class scrummagers, like best in the world, literally, I have to say, that was incredibly impressive for me. And also, the Hurricanes is kind of known to play the power game a lot. And the Drua, knowing that, really just matched the power with raw power. The Hurricanes' power game really didn't pay out for them. There was, the Hurricanes only were able to find space out wide and was not able to go through the middle. Only a couple times actually, but was really struggling to go through the middle like they normally do against lesser teams, especially with big ball carriers like Adi Savia was not really able to get that power game going. Even with the ones that typically has a good power game, like Karethi and Amura, they really didn't really get that momentum going at all this game. Also, the Drua last week as well, losing that kicking game to Bowden Barrett, really was pinned down inside their own half for most of the game, was forced to run the ball out of their own 22. This time, the Drua, believe it or not, clearly had a strategy in kicking. There was a few really smart high balls, something that like the box kick, something that we don't see from the Drua do at all. In fact, they added that into the game, and really, with that height, with that speed, with their chases, the pressure from their chases, they were able to just force penalties, getting that tackle, getting that turnover, or even getting the ball back for themselves. And that really, kind of maybe put the Hurricanes a little bit, I guess, off guard as well, because Hurricanes was also playing the high ball game, and it was just like not working at all, and they were putting on the back foot because of the Fijian high ball game. So yeah, it was like something that we haven't seen before, and it was really well done for the Fijians to pull that out. And as a result, the Hurricanes were really not in control of the game for most part. The Fijians was just dominating in possession and territory of the game. There were times for both teams, but more towards the Fijians. They did push some of those passes a little bit, forcing a bit errors, some unnecessary errors for themselves. But that is just the style of Fijian rugby. Always try to capitalize that opportunity. Always try to do that offload. It is what it is. A few errors there. That's probably the only thing that really hurt the Endurance a little bit this match. The Hurricanes, on the other hand, like I said, the power game just didn't work out. The Fijian Drua shut that down with good defense, and the discipline of the Hurricanes really hurt themselves as well. Like I said, the breakdowns in Drua really attacked the breakdown, and the Hurricanes was giving away a few penalties there. There was 2 yellow cards against the same person for Hurricanes. So the number 5, Walker Vera got sent off twice. 2 yellow cards and just, cynical professional fouls. And as a result, the Hurricanes really had to play with a player down, especially who got sent off just before full time as well. So the Hurricanes really needed him on the field to finish off the game, to potentially clutch that tight win over the Endurance. So that was really missing. Jordy Barry also missed a few conversions, which was a little bit lacking as well. Really need to get those kicks, especially for someone that's potentially going to be the All Black starting kicker. That's also just not going to be that great. So some good news for the Hurricanes. Adi Savia finally breached the 60s try mark for Super Rugby. He's now equal top try scorer with I think with Israel Folau and his former teammate TJ Perenara. So yeah, that's congratulations to not Adi Savia, just Adi Savia, Julian Savia, the bus Savia was is finally getting that record, getting that top try scorer as we kind of like expected them many years ago to achieve. So yeah, overall the stats. Fijian Drua 3 tries to the Hurricanes 4, 650 run meters to the Endurance, only 205 for the Hurricanes. You can tell that the Endurance was just able to really control the game in the right areas with that smart kicking, with that good defense as well. You can see that the Hurricanes actually had plenty of opportunity to run the ball. 75 carries to the Endurance 100. So the Endurance triple the run meters, but only had 25 more runs, 24 more carries than the Hurricanes. So it's just much better attacking options and very good defense for the Endurance to not allow the easy meters of the Hurricanes. Just, really shutting down that power game for the Hurricanes and really making it difficult. 16 turnovers conceded for the Endurance, 20 turnovers conceded for the Hurricanes. Tackle count 86, 16 missed tackles for the Endurance. Hurricanes 117 tackles, 33 missed tackles on the high end there. So Endurance was able to find those spaces, were able to make those half breaks frequently in this game. Endurance 2 missed kicks at the start for Lomani, but then he kind of got himself back into form. He was able to kick 2 conversions right from the sideline, and then missed the penalties right in front. So that was interesting. And then Valentini obviously came on the field, finished off the game with a winning kick again. Jordy Barrett only 50% kicking success rate, a little bit poor for the caliber player that he is. Lineouts, perfect lineouts for both teams, but probably more importantly, the Durham lineouts was perfect. Like the set piece is just getting better and better. 2 scrum loss for the Drua, 1 scrum loss for the Hurricanes. So yeah, that 1 scrum loss for the Hurricanes was quite a big turnover for the Drua. The Drua got that, was able to use that penalty to get the lead over the Hurricanes in the dying, 10 minutes or so. In the final 10 minutes of the match, which was really crucial. Finally, penalties conceded. As always, the Drua is one of the lowest penalized teams in the competition, actually. Most disciplined, in fact, really worked on that as well. They were last year one of the highest penalized team to one of the better teams in the competition right now. Only 8 conceded. The Hurricanes actually only 2 red. It's actually 2 yellow cards. Because the same person, he received 2 yellow cards. The second yellow card was actually converted into a red. But yeah, 13 penalties conceded for the Hurricanes. Really not ideal in a tight match like this one. So let's go through some of the key moments of the match right now. The game kind of started with Frank Lomani really looking to take 3 points early. So there was a few times where the Lomani was just throwing the ball into an offside play in the ruck to get a penalty. So he did this right at the beginning, 3 minutes in the game. Frank Lomani misses the penalty though, kind of like easy kick right in front. So yeah, it was looking like, this is a good idea, but if we can't turn that into the points that we needed, it's really, a bit of a bit of a conundrum there for the team to decide what they want to do when they did get this, offside, throwing ball play into the offside player penalties. 18 minutes into the game, the Endurance gets himself on the ball on the try. So for the first 15 minutes or so, the Hurricanes were really not able to get out of their own half. The Endurance was really able to dominate the territory with some good kicking game, with a good running game, and then with some sustained pressure, they got a scrum inside the Hurricanes 22. The ball comes out, long ball to Rakuru. Okay, Rakuru is a rookie. He's his first year for the Endurance, and he's the one that's replaced the Hambosi, who was one of the highest try scorers for the Endurance last year. And I was really worried when Hambosi got fired due to off-field ill discipline and off-field issues. So yeah, he was fired. And then I was really wondering that if Endurance still gonna have that try scoring, winger for them without Hambosi. But yeah, Rakuru was like, I can do better. He gets the ball in the wing. There was like 3 players in front of him, man. He just runs straight in and just kept the legs pumping and dragged like literally 3 players on top of him, goes over for the try. This was really, really impressive. He looked like a forward instead of the winger, right? Goes into the try, and Lomani slots this one from the corner, 7 points to nil to the Endurance. And then there was another, and then following this try was scored a few minutes later. The Endurance, again, just that little kick again, a kick, and then huge pressure on the kicker, forced the breakdown penalty, gets an opportunity to kick for another 3 points, and Lomani missed another one. And then suddenly it's just gonna be like, okay, maybe we should stop doing those kicks, those penalties, because it's not really working out for us. 29 minutes into the game though, the Hurricanes strikes back. They finally find, it took almost 30 minutes for Hurricanes to finally put sustained pressure inside the Fijian half. They just pounded, and then once they're close enough, spread the ball out wide, good hands. Julian the Basavia gets the ball and runs into the corner, puts the ball down. Easy try for him. 7 points to 5. Jordy Barrett misses the one in the corner. And then a few minutes later, on 32 minutes, there were repeated penalties against Hurricanes because they have been absorbing a lot of the pressure for quite some time now. And number 5, as we already mentioned his name, Walker Liavera, gets sent off for a yellow card. However, despite having a play off the field, the Hurricanes actually defended really well for the next 10 minutes, not conceding any points. The Endura had a 5-meter line out after this penalty. They just, technical error. One of the lift up blocks the ball receiver as he puts him down. Easy obstruction penalty against the Endura, something that should have been avoided. 38 minutes into the game, huge run by Lomani. He basically made a huge break from inside his own half. They're just running down the field. He throws the ball to Ravu Tamanda, who then links back to Lomani. He gets to the try line. He had a player next to him, but he thought he could ground this ball, right? He goes for it, and the ball gets knocked out his hand just before he grounds it, and then, no try. So Fijian really let himself off the hook right before halftime. He could have just shooted past it. Like, that's something that, with more coaching, you will probably get more used to that. But like, he had a player in support, could easily pass to him and then just gone. That would have been a guaranteed try. But yeah, he tried to go for himself, got the ball knocked out his hand. But yeah, that is what it is. Halftime score only 7 points to 5, despite the Endurance had overwhelming possession territory, and penalties to kick more points. Only 2 points at halftime. I was just like, wow, this is a little bit sweating. Second half starts. The Hurricanes was able to get a try on the ball 3 minutes in the second half with a player in the bin. So Hurricanes came out and really just lifted an intensity. A lot of nice pressure in the Fijian half. Pretty much an identical play to the first try they played. Spread the ball out wide to Julian Savia. And this time he had two players in front of him. Steps in field, steps 2 players, both overran him. Goes in for the try, just the experience from the veteran. And Jordy Barrett misses his conversion once again from the corner. And that's another missed opportunity for Hurricanes. This is the first scrum that the Fijian lost, where there was a huge scrum. I think this was when Owen Franks came on, and then there was just a huge scrum because he was fresh and basically had a 1 turnover against Hurricanes. 50 minutes into the game, the Hurricanes again just putting more pressure into the Drua defense, muscle, just full power, pounding the try line, short balls, try line, and eventually Numia crashes over, and it looked like he dropped the ball. But the TMO had a look. There was no separation, so to speak. So separation means they have to see a gap between the ball and hand. But it was clearly loose, right? It was not like the gap can't be seen from the front, but the ball is clearly out of his, like, slipping out of his hands. It's not like touching. Like, it was really poor call. I think this should have been a no try. But yeah, no, the fans were not happy. Everybody's booing. But regardless, the referee says the video did not show, what do you call it? Did not show separation. So what separation means, if you don't know. So if I was to just give you a quick example, right? So let's say, let's say if this is the ball, right? So this is the ball. The old rule is you have to be in control of the ball to ground the ball for a try. But nowadays, as long as there's no separation, so if you can't see any gap between the hand and the ball, even if it's just one finger on it as you go down to ground it, even if it's like this, it's still considered a try. You no longer have to be like holding the ball as you go down. So as long as there's no separation, as in like gap between a player and the ball, something that can be seen, then it's a try. Yeah, it's considered a try. That's just the rules nowadays. And so even if the player, so with this situation, the player had the ball kind of like this. It was clearly coming off like this, right? The ball was clearly coming down. But because there's no, the TMO can't see the separation, like the gap, because the hand is over the ball like this, even though the ball is clearly dropping, you can't see the separation, it's still considered a try. Unfortunately, that's just the rule. I thought that was a bit sloppy. I thought that should have been a no try. But yeah, it is what it is. So Jordie Barrett converts this one, 17 points to 14 to Honduras, 56 minutes into the game. The Kangs really had an opportunity here to kick for 3 points. They got another penalty right in front, but no, they went for the corner. They go for the more, gets a more penalty, and just big forwards charging down. And Karifi, as he has done so good this season with a power game, finally managed to crash himself through the middle, gets under the sticks. Jordie Barrett converts this one, 24 points to, what is it? 24 points to 14. What's this? 24 points to 14. And then the did I miss the penalty somewhere? No. And then I missed the try actually. So Hurricanes gets the first try on the board, and then the Honduras gets himself back on the board with an immediate return try a few minutes later. Basically the Honduras from the kickoff, the Honduras went to recover the ball, just good sustained pressure, and the outside center Marcy, amazing performance. He gets the ball. He saw 3 defenders in front of him, right? He was 2 on 3 on the wing, okay? Believe it or not. He runs up, draws all 3 defenders, and pops the ball over to Rakuru, goes in for the second try. It was amazing. So yeah, Hurricanes, Honduras gets that second try. So yeah, let's go to the Hurricanes, then returns with the questionable knock-on try, and then finally the what do you call it? Finally like I said, the Hurricanes had an opportunity to kick for 3 points, but they go for the corner and they go for the more, and then Karifi crashes over with some some short ball crashed over, and suddenly the Hurricanes leading 24 points to 17. With the lift intensity of the Hurricanes, the Honduras really looking like the game could run away from him. But sure enough, immediately after the try, we saw Honduras hits back right again, and this time Derry Nalangi basically gets the ball. He picks up what did he do? So there was a box kick from the Hurricanes. He gets the ball, shrugged off a bunch of players, runs through a little gap, and then he passes the ball to Matavalu, who slips through a few more players. No, it was Matavalu who gets the ball for the high ball. He slips through a few players. He offloads to the number 2, the hooker. Let's get him there. Tavita, and the Tavita runs down a bit. He offloads back to Derry Nalangi, who runs through for the immediate return try, 21 points to 24. And suddenly the scoreboard is getting really tight. Both teams for the next 15 minutes just like jockeying for possession. Drua had a bit of a bit of a advantage over the Hurricanes. Had some good defense, good moments with the Hurricanes were not able to convert into points. But finally, 7:54 minutes into the game, the Endurers had a scrum inside the Hurricanes half, and they get the scrum penalty. Huge! I was like jumping off my chairs when I saw this. I was just like clapping. I could not believe that the Endurers could get a scrum penalty and the opportunity to kick for 3. They kicked for 3, so suddenly the scoreboard is leveled. 24. 24 points to 24, and then with the clock ticking down, there was just any team could take this game at this point. So there was another high ball from the Endurers. They pressure the ball. The winger gets smashed as soon as he catches the ball, and then the Endurers just gets the ball turned over, start running, just build that momentum, good offloads, build into the Hurricanes 22, and then the same guy, the number 5, Wildkard Liavera, just walks over the rock, picks the ball up, a really cynical penalty. The referee had no option to give him another yellow card, and suddenly the Hurricanes are down to 14 players, and then the Endurers takes the opportunity to kick for 3 points with just about 2 minutes left. Valentini's on the field, kicks this one, bit of an angle, but it was straight down the center. And suddenly the Endurers ahead 27-24 with just a couple minutes left, and then there was a bit of back and forward in the last few minutes. The Endurers was inside the Hurricanes half, fighting, gets the penalty, and they kick the ball out to end the game with a historic win, 3 points over the Hurricanes, 27 points, 24. And this is really important for the Endurers because they're actually fighting for that top 4 spot for Super Rugby. So with this win, they will be, let's see what the standings are. Yeah, they will be really close to that top A spot. So they're currently at 8. So so this is really, really important for them. This is a huge win, and they need to hang on. Like winning against the number 2 ranked team in the competition. I can't believe the Hurricanes ranked number 2. And Endurers, well done. Hurricanes and Crusaders both went down to the Endurers this year. What a performance, and happy days for everyone. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. And cheers. Have a good weekend.